What happens after life? Exploring the Bible's teachings on eternity. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what happens when I die? It's a question as ancient as humanity itself, woven deep into the fabric of our souls. Philosophers ponder it, scientists explore it, and religions tackle it head-on. But for those seeking faith, the Bible has a profound answer, intriguing, layered, and life-changing. Today, we set aside the noise and dive into what Scripture truly says about death. Not watered-down theology or speculative opinions, but the essence of biblical teachings that carry eternal implications. Are you ready to explore with an open heart? Let's begin. The Bible starts with a stark yet humbling truth. Our physical bodies are temporary. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Scripture reminds us. When we die, this earthly shell that ties us to time and space fades into the elements of creation. But here's the counterbalance to that reality. Our bodies may perish, but we are more than flesh and blood. We are soul, we are spirit, and that deeper, eternal part of us doesn't just vanish. Instead, the spirit begins its next chapter. But where does it go? The Bible speaks of Sheol, a mysterious realm beyond the grave. Picture it not as a place of torment or peace, but a waiting room of sorts, a shadowy existence where all souls, whether righteous or wicked, await their destiny. In the New Testament, this place is also called Hades. It's a pause, but not the final scene in the grand narrative. So what's next? The Bible paints a vivid picture of what happens after Sheol. There's a moment, one that every soul reaches, Judgment Day. It's a day unlike any other, where the Creator assesses the lives we've led, the choices we've made, and most importantly, the state of our hearts. At this juncture, Scripture lays out two distinct paths. For those who have embraced God, trusted in Him through faith, and lived lives of love and righteousness, the ultimate promise awaits: paradise. Can you imagine it? A place of perfect connection with God, where every yearning of the soul is answered, where light, joy, and divine love flow endlessly. But the Bible doesn't shy away from the alternative. For those who reject God, turn away from His truth, and choose a path disconnected from Him, there is Gehenna, known more commonly as hell. It's depicted as the starkest reality, a place of eternal separation from God. This isn't just punishment in a physical sense, but the anguish of choosing an eternity apart from the source of life itself. Whether seen as eternal torment or obliteration, the outcome is clear: a soul apart from God. But here's the twist, the part that stirs the imagination and renews the spirit. Death is not the ultimate endpoint. The Bible speaks of resurrection, a breathtaking promise of renewal. For those who walk the path of faith, there is the hope of being raised again. What does this mean? Imagine a spiritual body, free from the frailties of mortality and the weight of sin, the kind of body designed for an eternity in God's presence. This is not just life as we know it, but life perfected, a union of spirit and body in its truest form. Resurrection is the cornerstone of hope for believers. It's not simply a dreamy future possibility, it's a certainty rooted in God's own promises. It's the ultimate reaffirmation that death, though undeniable, is not invincible. So, where does this leave us? If we take the Bible's teachings to heart, one truth emerges: death is not the end. It is, instead, a profound transition, a doorway to eternity. From the dust of the body to the mystery of Sheol, to the climactic moment of judgment, and ultimately to either paradise or Gehenna, the journey continues. For those still seeking, this is not just doctrine or dogma, it's an invitation. It challenges you to explore your faith, to question your direction, and to contemplate eternity with open eyes and a receptive heart. At its core, the Bible's message dares us to live intentionally, knowing that this earthly life is a precursor to something far greater. So, how will you live? What choices will define your path? Eternity awaits, and the way you approach this age-old question might just shape your forever.